Yeah, and it's an interesting choice because, of course, you ban out the Puck. First thing that you think about is probably the Invoker of the Queen of Pain, and both of those heroes have survived so far. I also am noticing there is still a Bat Rider in the pool, and I think that's also where RCY, that's his hero pool. That's what he's played up until this point. Do 5ManMidas now try to get ahead of him and then rush the picks just to steal it away? Feels like they almost have to, but that's where the mid pool being so open, the Puck ban can't be for nothing, and they go for Chen, so they'll
Okay.
keep us guessing. They're going to try to draft into it. But
Yeah,
then
that's
CM, counter, and then Luna. Okay, a little bit different.
whoa,
And then that's an
boys.
immediate pickup. Naga.
We're
Yeah,
just
no, this draft is just blazing by. All of the reserve time has been spent on bans, but the picks just soar, and I've got to kind of favor DogChamp a little bit here. Sure, Naga Siren, we've seen it before. It should be able to shut out that Beastmaster. And DogChamp have an awkward situation. They have an Undying and a Crystal Maiden. I think more likely you're going to see the Undying as a 4 than the CM as a 4, even though both feel weird. But kind of funny that nobody ended up actually bagging a mid laner there. Both sides just decide,
yeah.
no, we're just going to run our carries at each other. And then we go through this final set of bans. And now all those mid laners that were still in the pool just simply aren't.
Lena taken away. The bat banned out as well. We'll see if anybody's gonna bite on a ban on the spirits here. Honestly, either Ember or Void at this point. So it's kind of strange that we just flashed our way through phase two, but yeah, as you said, ET, it feels like DogChamp are a little bit stronger with what they've got here. If you're 5ManMidas though, uh find me the mid laner, ET. Who is the character for RRL that ties what this is gonna be together? Because I guess technically speaking, we're still not sure between the snap and the bounty.
Yeah, and I am still kind of grinding my gears thinking about that because you do look at the lineup and say, well, is it going to be an off-lane bounty hunter now? Do they need an off-laner? What's going on here? I think 5-man might have a little bit of an easier time banning heroes. I think we got to see the Lesh ban, and they go for the Kunkka instead. I think it was pretty close between the two, but I think DogChamp just picked Lesh for RCY now, and then, well, it's Lashrak versus Naga,
Whoa.
and they go for Zeus instead. Okay, maybe not that immediate kind of secondary frontliner I was expecting, but doubling down on some more magic damage, I guess. And of course, versus the bounty hunter. Now I think you need to make that bounty hunter your offlaner. I don't think Zeus versus bounty is a lane. I think that would be kind of sad, especially because you're just going to end up, I guess, farming underneath tower if you're the bounty hunter and dodging arc lightnings, but then you're showing you never can leave your lane because it's always forced in. So
Yeah.
5ManMidas with your two, I guess not exactly 2 minutes, but with all your time here, what's it gonna be for RRL? Because again, it's a draw lane. It's a lane that nobody loses. You could pick Void Spirit and I guess just look to kill him instead. That's probably your easy pick, just having somebody that can go in. But aside from that, I don't think you can pick the same heroes. You probably don't want to go for the last track. You want somebody who's going to build a fast BKB though, because there's a Luna in the game. He's going to magic you down. He's going to kill you if you end up overextending. Oh man, it's a tough position to be in. They
They
also need some wave clear though, because they're just gonna get pushed, and they don't have anything to defend right now.
could they get away with something like an invoker in this spot, ET?
I don't think so. I think it'd be too bad, and there's no lockdown for him as well.
Yeah.
It's like it feels like a hero that they might pick just out of comfort, but other than that, I think it doesn't win the lane, and I don't think it wins the game versus Luna Beastmaster. I just think they need something mobile, but you can already see as well for 5ManMidas, they're deliberating. They're trying to think of the best one as well. It's where they would have liked to have the Puck, honestly, all the way back when, but I don't know. It's tough, and they go for the
Okay.
Queen of Pain. The mid laner that was left over, still stuck in the pool, and sure, a little bit more magic damage to play around with, and somebody who can, again, kind of clear creep waves. It's that hero that has creep clear but doesn't have wave clear, so even though you might be able to kill creeps while you're standing next to them, well, if you're going to get roared if you're sitting next to the creeps, it still doesn't fix the problem necessarily, but gives them maybe something more to play for and is a little bit more mobile. But I think this was more so just to give RRL a slightly more even lane versus RCY, because RCY has just been doing a fantastic job in all of his lanes. But you do force the bounty hunter to be your off laner at the end of the day here, because you kind of have to at that point.
And yeah, I mean, the list of characters that we had seen RRL on, I think more than once, were basically, what, that Queen of Pain, the Invoker, and I guess technically he's played the Pangolier multiple times now, but none of those are the best options, so they kind of just had to pick the one that wasn't the worst, which I know sounds kind of bad for them. And the Queen of Pain really is not that bad, but it felt like they were kind of backed into a corner just a little bit.
No, for sure, and well, we'll see how the lanes actually end up panning out here. If this is just something to do, or if this is a little lame. I don't know. It's tough. 5ManMidas, they're just gunning for a win. They've got an off-lane bounty hunter. He's gonna steal some gold from Stonebank, but I don't know. Was this too early? Was this not the situation to break it out? I'm not sure. It's just a tough day for 5ManMidas because, again, they play after this game. They've got more to play for, especially against Wolf Team, who will also be looking for the 2-0 to tie themselves up with DogChamp. So both those teams are going to be gunning for a final slot. And Yarn does actually end up taking the CM. So yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, somebody had to be the 4.
Get the lane. Someone had to be the 4 and someone had the lane versus Chen. So why not?
Oh. Let's see what 5ManMidas can do here. Little unconventional with some of these selections, but well, convention hasn't worked out for them for the most part in the past, as we have repeatedly mentioned, so try something crazy. And ETI will say one thing, it's not going to count for much, but I like this crazy offlane bounty hunter more than the repeated attempts at the offlane Mirana. I would be okay with just never seeing that again.
Yeah, kind of an agree. Just was funky, was not so cool, but yeah, taking a lot of damage here. Has a slow in 7 seconds from the CM, but I think you are just slow. He is slightly faster though, and actually, yeah, neck and neck. And with Argus, well, there's the axes.
Oh,
not dead,
enough.
but there's the click.
Okay. Wait. How did Italiano Gangster get that?
Got long arms.
Okay, that's very fair. Thought the Yarn right click was going to be the one that connected, but your Beastmaster does pick it up, and as you say, yeah, you gotta watch that wingspan on the Beastmaster. But there's your first blood. Strong start to the lane here if you're DogChamp, just getting that Beastmaster a little bit more. And I mean, he's always someone who just goes for the naked Domhelm rush, right? That's how Beastmaster plays. So if you speed that up by, you know, a first blood's worth, then Domhelm can come out maybe a couple of minutes faster.
Well, and the funny thing is, with that gold, actually just buys a full Basilius.
Oh,
and you'd
okay.
say, oh, interesting, but you're like, oh, if you're just going to spam us out, then yeah. So a lot more Crystal Novas, a lot more Whirling Axes that Argus is going to have to deal with, and not fun stuff, as Feeling is all the way back over here looking for his medium camp, looking for a good creep, and, well, this is the gamble. Let's see it.
What does he get?
And he got the good
cones,
one, but he can't get that one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he can't actually have it right now, so he's going to take the little one. It's the Purge creep. He'll be back for the big boys later, but, well, what is he really going to do with this? I guess he can purge up some people and be annoying, but while that's happening, Argus is already getting kind of bullied here, so is it going to be enough to matter? He's hitting up Yarn a little bit, but I don't know if Yarn is really going to care too much. And now he hits level 2, so if he does have that Frostbite, and Feeling may very well just lose the creep.
Yeah, it's tough goings here for this bottom lane, but that's where they don't have enough damage yet to kill Aragius, and once Raindrops are online, then, you know, somebody's spell is going to be a little bit less effective, but yeah, already kind of feeling those Chen nerfs just a bit here, but we'll have to see, because he does have camps at the very least, which is nice. Maybe not the small camp just yet, but we'll have something to play for a little bit further down the lane, but not now. For now, it's just getting nuked, having to deal with the magic damage, and hoping they run out of mana before you're dead.
Yep. Trying to track in multiple lanes here, because there's a lot of skirmishing going down. Multiple heroes getting into some dangerously low levels of health. Okay, well, so much for that play. B9 puts down a tombstone, and Moonlight says, no. Just takes that free gold, and now if you're B9, you've got to be careful here. He's got Decay, I suppose. That can get him a little bit more, but Just to make sure that he clears out of here safely. Lies. Lies. Time to step away. Turns around for the shuriken toss, but B9 may be safe after all. Turns around, drops a decay. Stonebank made his way over, and they turn it.
Yeah. No, it just ends up working out. But you are right. Everybody is so incredibly low. There's a lot of sticks as well picked up just because of how much spamming there's been going on these lanes. But yeah, just barely gets the leg up there. Barely gets enough mana for one more decay, and it just works out for him. Does kind of need to suicide though pretty soon
he's
here,
dead.
But yeah, nothing he can do. Did get a ghost though, so Feeling got lucky. He got the creep that he would be looking for, but that's where Yaren might just look to frostbite it, and no more ghost.
Can't even deny it there either. So Yaren gets the gold. Insult to injury on that play, but yeah, that's not great for your Naga Siren. He's just a little bit too low, but there's no regen. He only had the stick. Feeling, I guess, could stand next to him with the headdress for about half an hour, but it's not really a viable strat at this stage in the game, so it was either give up on farm entirely or take the risk, and the risk doesn't pay off.
Well, it doesn't pan out for you, and we'll have to see what the next one is, and fortunately no more ghost. Got a heal creep, maybe something to heal up literally just the Naga in this situation, but that's where Yaren on the aggressive makes his way towards that bottom water rune. Make sure that nobody ends up getting it, but Destroy gets the other one. In top lane, big trades, but Wise isn't able to keep on him. He's got another shuriken, but with Zombie slowing him down and Luna zoning him out, he's not going to be able to make that kill onto B9 happen, and actually still needs to be careful. One more decay, one more beam could kill him, but we'll be able to walk this one out, even though he does get clipped there.
Now back down bot. Argeus is on the run again. The Hawk, though, is going to scout him out. They get down the route with the Frostbite, and that's the Naga dead twice in the lane. And also, oh, by the way, 5 straight kills to open things for DogChamp and a 3k net worth lead.
Yeah, 3k net worth at 5 minutes is, yeah, that's rough. And then you also look at mid lane, you know, why not? And you see that the Queen of Pain's making the walk of shame. Destroyer just has put so much mana into her in the lane, and until you get some raindrops up, even once you have raindrops up, it's just not pretty stuff. The Zeus will also make that same walk, most likely. Could just clarity up as well, but decides that, no, I'm going to go get full mana and then do the exact same thing, because I am Zeus.
Kind of afford to do that as Argeus. Oh, you are playing with fire here, man. Yaren, he's just trying to push in. He guessed wrong, though. Okay. Argeus finally gets a little bit of luck going his way, right? Yaren hits up the wrong one, gets the illusion instead of the real hero, and your oh boy. Naga Siren gets the kill. He needs to make sure he doesn't die to axes, though, because there's one more coming. Can he get the angle? Okay, never mind.
Oh, and it's that. Yeah, you always forget about it. Everybody forgets about the Zeus until that happens. Gets Lies as well, and then Feeling, yeah, is going to go down. And this bottom lane is in shambles. This is a third situation where the Naga Siren's TP is maybe 15 seconds off before he's able to rejoin the lane. And then Destroyer gets an Arcane Rune, is going to start bullying up RRL even further, because his Arc Lightnings only cost 63 mana. Yeah, this is just the way it goes if you're 5ManMidas. And you're getting Dove top.
Nice cookie stun, though. Is that enough? Stonebank. 2 seconds for Lucent. Get into range. Oh, he lost the vision. Gonna kill off the courier, so at least he gets that. But while that happened, B9, he was low off of the cookie stun, but Lies couldn't actually finish him, and now Lies has to kind of be careful. Looks like he's going to be okay for the time being. Meanwhile, what's going on in the jungle here? They've spotted out Yaren. It's taken 3 heroes to kill the Crystal Maiden. That's not the greatest of signs, but they need something, ET, and they do at least manage to find that.
Yeah, and you still get it, which is all that matters. Just making sure that you can get something is the name of the game here if you're 5ManMidas with this much of a deficit. Moonlight, though, is kind of in his namesake, dying at nighttime here in the raindrop. Oh, Lies. What have you done? He does have Invis, so he will be able to walk away, but walk away to what? He doesn't have much of a lane. He's just going to have to regen pretty much under tower of the flag bearer. Oh, God, it's just not getting easier. The only thing you can do is, I think, run around with your Queen of Pain and then hope that she can make enough rotations happen with the max dagger, but... Oh,
man. He lives dangerously. Went in for the Janata and then immediately repopped the Shadow Walk, so... The problem is, that's the maximum impact he can have right now. He can occasionally steal a little bit of money from the Luna. And
Yep.
that's all your offlaner's doing? It's kind of rough, and now a sentry's gone down, so he's not even going to be able to get away. Moonlight has to come in for the cookie stun, and looks like that will be enough to get Lies out of trouble, but just this lane just isn't providing anything, and at this point, ET, his net worth is lower, or was lower for a second there, than the Crystal Maidens.
Oh, and then Arceus tries to
Hmm.
get cheeky with the illusion bait again here, but Italiano Gangster also just got incredibly lucky. Got the perfect creep Dark Soul Summoner, so now his tower push is just fearsome. You get 2 sets of skeletons, and then you start steamrolling these towers, and he's looking at mid. Doesn't have Roar, though, because, again, he just killed off that Naga Siren, but RRL, who has 1 point up in the Scream of Pain, this was already going to be an issue, but no wave clear. What do you do now? You're going to dagger him probably, but this just feels like free damage, and Italiano Gangster could even just change onto Moonlight, but doesn't want to give up his Hawk's position in Pterodactyl even. Pretty sick cosmetic, but mid tower's just dead.
And up top, Lies is forced to TP out of his lane, so you're going to take the tower. You have just shut down the off lane again. And Arceus, last time he tried to farm in the jungle, they caught him. He's 1-4. So 5ManMidas have, realistically speaking, lost all 3 of their lanes.
Yeah, and of course, we always talk about it. How do you come back when every single lane is lost? In a lot of games of Dota, you don't. But they've still got a chance. And Italiano,
Ooh,
yeah,
okay.
this is the punish. Nice Thunder God's Wrath, though, and his creeps are very strong. So RRL, who just blinked in, has a 20 stick, so he's a little bit tanky, but they just all need to run from the Beastmaster.
That's rough. RRL, supposed to be your triumphant moment as, okay. Oh, this is a problem. Can he get himself out of here? He has no blink. He blinked in, and there's the axes. Oh, the rule of the Quap, right? If you blink offensively, well, you better hope that you win the fight straight up, because you are trapped.
Yep. Quap's rule is one of the best. Honestly, it was better when there was $9 million on the line. I'll always remember that that newbie Liquid Grand Final. But
Dealing.
okay. Steals the boar. It doesn't have that much HP, but there's no Mortimer's Kisses in Moonlight. Well, they're all just looking at Italiano Gangster saying, "What are you gonna do? Do something."
He just dropped the roar on the real
coming,
Arceus.
though.
They've got him rooted. Arceus has to live, though, but he can't. The kill's just not going to be as worth it if you lose, and he's going to channel the ult in the trees. Moonlight's dead. RRL, I don't think he's getting out. Blink in 1. Can they finish him in time? Yes, they can. Or no, they can't. Wow, excuse me. Mouth not worky, but... well... That still sucks. I don't know how else to really say it at this point, ET. Arceus goes down again. You do get the Italiano Gangster kill. That is unbelievably important, but that was the bare minimum. You had to have that in that play, and they don't get anything else.
Yep. And they don't get anything else, even though
Nine.
he's got a TP home, but even the Queen of Pain, who is just scrambling to try and show up to these fights, is not farming. She's just barely getting the creep wave that's pushed into the mid lane. Every single time, it's not going to be a reactive response.
Oh, feeling you don't want to be here.
Yeah, walks into kind of a sad state of affairs. You do the self jump. If you just press S and then top, you don't have to go forward any bit. But okay, Cookie, kisses, kill.
No way out. All right. They find the kill. A little bit of extra damage onto Yaren 2, who's trying to TP out, and he's not going to make it. Sonic Wave had to be used. Moonlight gets the kill there, and... oh, they're looking for a little bit more mid 2, B9. He is starting to drop there a little bit, but Tombstone thrown down. Moonlight just says thanks for the free food, and I don't know if they can keep chasing. RL's starting to run out of mana, but they are getting into the trees. B9 really doesn't have anything to work with here himself, so it's just going to be a right-click fight that RRL should win. Eventually. Okay, Moonlight has to help.
Yeah, and
get it.
Well, 3 kills in a row. Can't get greedy here with RRL, and oh, he's got Thunder Gods. Does he just... doesn't even need to.
Oh, sniped out by the axes there from Italiano, and... well... we're seeing a little bit more from 5ManMidas, right? They are finding the occasional kill, but I don't know if it's really going to be enough. And you look at Italiano Gangster, we're 12 minutes in, he's got Helm of the Overlord, right? He's just running around with the Shaman. They've already taken tier 2s in a couple of lanes, so he could just start rotating himself top as Lies. Well, he's tracking Stonebank, but I don't really see any way that they get this kill, and With reinforcements coming, it's time for him to leave, but we still just haven't really talked about a lot from this bounty hunter, and with this item build, as Argius, okay, able to catch out Destroyer down in the bottom lane, but that itemization from the bounty with just the Vanguard, he hasn't really been in the middle of any of these fights, so it just doesn't feel all that useful right now.
And here would be the turnaround as Lies is about to run into the team Roshing, so he will go down. But this is where you would love to maybe get a cheek into this. This is a 13-minute Rosh, but there is nothing you can do. Probably give the Aegis. Honestly, I'd give it to Italiano, but Stomach will take it just for maybe ease of his own gameplay. But that's where, unfortunately, weren't able to use the kisses there. Weren't able to stop them up in the slightest. Just too much network to play around still. And they do have to be careful. It's just the fact, though, that DogChamp have been able to make all of these plays just based around the Beastmaster. Stomach has not had to do anything. He hasn't batted an eye in this game. He has just farmed against the Bounty Hunter, who has tried to rob him, but of course, eventually you lose that battle, and, well, the Bounty Hunter's going to go down again here. Unfortunate. Even steals the kill, and they're looking, though. Smoke to try and kill the Zeus, but he saw the smoke with his ulti, so he should just walk this one all the way home. As long as he doesn't get greedy and walks in between the towers, he should be fine, and that's what they're pinging out for. Trying to get the punish, but oh no.
Well, now they've got to be careful themselves and maybe clear out, because don't know. For DogChamp pushing over, for a moment it looked like a couple of heroes were coming, but they don't want to give up on the chance to push the tower, so 5ManMidas' heroes will be safe ET. The tower, not so much.
Nope, and they defend their own tier 1 mid. They put pressure on the tier 2 top, a tier 2 that, even though it gets glyphed, is just going to get tanked up by the Granite Golem. Wise is, again, looking for a robbery here onto Stonebank, but that's where all they can do now is cut this mid creep wave and hope that they cannot connect onto that mid tier 2, knowing that Glyph is now gone, because you've just been too successful here. And even the Bounty Hunter looking to maybe nab this creep wave and try to pull it back, but backdoor goes. You still have the Granite Golem in front, and oh!
Okay. Roar onto RRL, he's straight dead. Cookie comes out too late, and I just don't think that the Queen of Pain realized that they had that kind of forward vision, but this is Rax at 15 and ET. I genuinely cannot believe that I am saying this, but this offlane bounty is kind of making me wish we had Lies Mirana back.
Yeah. I mean, hey, he's cutting the creep wave.
Yeah.
Not anymore. It's gone.
He was.
Yeah, no, just not a lot to answer for. And I think coming into that final phase, just an odd gamble for them to try in this game. And now onto the mid tier 2. Of course, you still have your glyph. Feeling doesn't have a life, though. There goes the mech.
He used Hand of God there, too. That's awkward. Still dead.
It's just one of those simple situations where you would hope that maybe Argius is the one to kind of win this game for you. And you're like, oh, well, you went for the defusal first. You don't have a Manta style. You don't really have any way to cut these lanes either. They're trying to get some wave core going. And okay, kisses. Doing a lot of damage. But what happens when you run out?
Oh my god,
oh, no.
He's not going to die. Okay. They take him out, but it almost doesn't matter. It's just the kill for pride's sake, but they lose way too much. The buyback comes in from Moonlight. I guess Bloody Nine does end up dying there to some DOT, but they're losing a second lane of Rax at 16, and oh, okay, I thought that was a real one. That's just Yaren messing around in team chat, but I mean, we might not be far off from the actual GGAT, because if you're 5ManMidas, what scenario, forget about winning the game, what scenario wins them even a team fight?
It would be a team fight where I think a few DogChamp heroes are asleep is probably your easy win, because yeah, no, Destroyer would need to die somehow on the Zeus. He hasn't been partaking in any of the pushing. He's just been trying to respond to Argius, and Argius, he's got Song TP.
Okay.
As long as he doesn't, that doesn't happen. Yeah. Zeus is just there.
It's just
with the Aether Lens. It's a comedy almost at this point, or that's what it feels like in the smoke up. Okay, can they do anything?
They're trying to force it. Argius, though, does still go down. They cleaned out the tombstone, I suppose, but now the roar blocking RRL in place. Can he blink away? No, he can't. Still only level 2 on the spell because we're 17 minutes in. And they're going to lose everything. Well, not everything. Feeling's still alive, but
Oh, they
DogChamp
see
are
him.
looking to fix that. They're going to track him down. Does he get this TP off? Are they merciful? Hell no, they're not. They're just going to go straight in for the wipe.
Aw, Yaren, you do too much damage. They're trying to give RCY the rampage, dude.
It's just Murphy's Law in action for 5-man. I don't think any scenario has gone positively for them.
Yeah, no. They're just kind of playing this one out at this point. The bottom tower is the only thing they can play for. The supports of DogChamp are just in. They're just on the tier 4s. I don't know why they're here.
Yeah.
They're just playing. I mean,
What's
yeah,
going
there
on
goes
here?
your Ag shard from Yaren, but it just gets immediately canceled. The funny thing is, they're somehow not dead, because there's just no stuns on 5ManMidas' team at all. It's just Ensnare and Cookie. And eventually, once this bottom wave gets pushed in, the creeps meet. Don't have the Aegis anymore, but you're running out of game to play for. Boots of Bearing finished on Italiana Gangster. 50 attack speed for the lineup. I mean, they're all tracked, but no Aghanim Scepter in sight. Wise just has to throw his body on the ground here, try to tank up with this Vanguard for his team, but they're the kisses. Again, trying to push out those waves, maybe.
Damage is kind of
ulti number
minimal.
one.
Feeling? That's the wrong side of the fight. Okay. Just taken down immediately. He does have buyback. His death timer, though, is still only 25 seconds, so maybe he just tries to wait that out. But DogChamp, well, they see their chance to close this out. They're looking for the final lane of Rax. RL's going to deploy the Sonic, connecting onto 3. What else do they have? Nothing. Argeus gets roared up instead. There's the Eclipse. There's the Thunder God's Wrath. Fight's done. And it looks like the game might just be done here as well. There's a buyback from the Naga Siren, but he still has no song for 20, and, I'm beginning to lose hope.
I think they are too, and I think with that dieback up, it might be time to throw in the towel. And
Yep. Yikes.
not saying that that would have really changed anything, but maybe 5ManMidas are just trying to get us into the next game. Maybe after game 1, realizing that they couldn't do anything versus DogChamp, they say, okay, let's go into this Wolf Team matchup with our, I guess, 20-minute break here, you know, for the games, but I hope there's not an FF on the horizon here. That would be a sad way for 5ManMidas to go down, but yeah, nothing went right.
Yeah, I mean, that, you feel like that's an exaggeration when you first say it, but it truly isn't. Nothing went right for 5ManMidas. From the absolute outset of this game, every possible engagement, every camp spawn, everything, the rune spawns, all of it, it just went poorly for them. And it didn't help that their own picks here didn't really help them out either, especially Lies on this bounty hunter. I don't know how much influence he has, ET, in terms of what they're actually drafting for him, but it's been rough for him in particular.
Yeah, it somehow didn't have the lowest hero damage dealt though in that game. You know, it's because I think Stonebank sticking around in the lane. You know, being a bit of a nice guy. Stonebank probably would have been more farmed if he rotated into the triangle sooner, but then you give the bounty hunter a little bit more game. But yeah, no, that's where coming into this next game, it's just time to go. It's time to go versus Wolf Team. We're gonna have to see if 5ManMidas can do anything. They cannot afford to lose at all. They need to not only 2-0 Wolf Team, but then they need to 2-0 Felt in their final series of BTS Pro Series 12. And then they have to hope that that alone, and actually that alone would actually net them the win, because then they beat Felt directly in the tiebreaker. But that's where lose game 1 here. That's it for 5ManMidas. They make an exit as our first team in the BTS Pro Series. But that's where maybe they're going to kick it into a different gear. Maybe we see something different. You know, you could say anything about them, but let's hope they do something with this 20-minute break here. I hope to not see them in the lobby. I hope they also take the 20 minutes as opposed to the 10, because I feel like they might need that mental reset.
Yeah, after this series, might want to just take a little bit of extra time to come up with something, because this did not look fantastic. So it will be 5ManMidas up next, facing off against Wolf Team. Both of these squads trying to secure their positions, obviously different positions. 5ManMidas trying not to be eliminated. Wolf Team still on the hunt for an upper bracket slot. If they win 3 of the next 4, they trigger tiebreakers. If they win all 4, then they can just make upper bracket outright. So, you know, the Wolves are going to be hungry pushing into that one. But we are going to be giving 5ManMidas a little bit of a break, which means we are going to be hopping into some ads here in just a second. Before we do go, though, ET, it is time, once again, that is the wrong screen. There you go. It is time to show you the old giveaway plug once again. So, for Pro Series 12, we are doing a little bit of a giveaway. You can see on your screen right now, we're giving away one HyperX Armada 25 FHD gaming monitor, which, as we said, is now available. Alongside that, some BTS merchandise, a t-shirt, a hoodie, good stuff going out there to one lucky entrant. You can go to bts.gg/pro series giveaway to enter into the drawing. The giveaway ends at pretty much midnight on October 7th, so effectively the end of Pro Series. Then we draw a winner and see who our lucky contestant is. So take your shot at that. Again, bts.gg/pro series giveaway to enter. See if you can win yourself a monitor and some cool BTS merchandise. So thank you very much for sitting through the giveaway read off. And now do go into that final series. 5ManMidas versus Wolf Team coming your way in just a few minutes here.